Hello, everybody. I'm happy to welcome you all to the week one of Devtoberfest Tooling and Front-End Tuesdays. Glad that you are part of Devtoberfest, which is a celebration of learning. Here, you can gain knowledge about the upcoming SAP technologies, dirty your hands with hands on tutorials, participate in fun events, and gain points. Here is the real deal. The top 10 winners will be packing their bags for an all expense covered trip to 2026 TechEd location. This is definitely exciting. I am Rekha Dr, a developer advocate at SAP and host for this session, Building Agents with Joule Studio. You could ask your questions throughout the session in the YouTube live chat. It's time to welcome our guest speakers, Maria Kondratyeva and Filip Perisic. Maria is a product manager for Joule Studio in SAP Build, focusing on the agent builder experience that enables users to design, test, and deploy AI agents effortlessly. She is dedicated to making enterprise AI accessible and practical. Outside of work, Maria enjoys yoga and Pilates, balancing activity with moments of creativity and reflection. Philip is an engineering manager. Joule Studio SAP Build team is focused on Agent Builder, working with MCP servers for vibe coding and ensuring developers have the best possible experience when building AI agents in Joule Studio. I will now hand over to the speakers for the topic presentation. Over to you, Maria and Philip.
Thank you so much, Rekha, and thank you everyone for joining us today. And yes, my name is Maria, and I am not alone today. I am together with my engineering manager.
Thank you, everyone. Also from my side, hello, Philip. Happy to be here, and thank you for having me, Maria, in this session. So, shall we start with the presentation?
Yes. Okay. Let's share our amazing slides.
Let me share the screen. We promise we don't have a lot of slides. The main purpose is the demo and to have the QA session, but still we have a few slides just to set the stage. So what are we talking today about? It's about agents in Joule Studio. And what is the goal? The goal is to build and test two agents in enterprise context, one from the maintenance industry, let's say, another one from compliance. Then we'll be sharing a framework, how to specify your agents, because the more specific you're about your agents, more likely they will do a better job. And then we will conclude with some outlook and what the future brings on our side. And also, if you have questions, please post them in the comments, and Rika will ask us so we can have interactive session. That's I find it way better than us just talking into the screen. So what is a Joule Studio? A Joule Studio is a solution with SAP Build, which allows you to extend Joule. And if you remember, Joule is SAP's AI assistant co-pilot, which helps employees in their daily business and also enables companies to bring AI into their operations. On the other side, Joule Studio allows you to extend Joule and to tailor it to your specific company needs, because at the end, every company is specific in some sense. For example, just think of compliance documents. Every company has their own. So Joule Studio is there to bring you across that gap. Before going to the demo, let me just briefly introduce you with two main, not only, but the two main outputs you get with the Joule Studio. Those are skills and agents. So what are skills? That skills are predeterministic workflow, a set of fixed steps, and also an interface to external world. So it lets you to connect via APIs to third-party systems and get the data. On the other side, agents are reasoning, or a system with a reasoning which can plan, execute, and adapt based on information it received. And you can imagine agent as digital employees. So like having these two artifacts side by side, we have skills, predefined set of steps, a workflow, a process. Another side, an agent which has reasoning, planning capabilities, and can take actions and adapt on its own. Maria, would you add something on top?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Filip. So when you're thinking of a Joule skill, when you're planning Joule skill, you should plan it as tell me exactly what to do and Joule skill will do it for you. So when you do that, you have the problem, you have the path, you know everything, and also you know the solution the Joule skill will illustrate you. When you are planning the Joule agent, you are telling to the agent the problem, and the agent is figuring out the best way to solve it. So you know the problem, but you do not know the exact solution the agent can come up with. But you are providing multiple tools so the agent can access and solve different things. And I think currently the slides are lost.
Yes. Do you still see our slides, or we somehow lost the connection with the screen share? If we can get back from the studio. And I think we are back.
We are back with the slides.
Yes, so let me see if I'm sharing again.
Perfect. The slides are back. Yeah, exactly. So for the agent, you cannot say what exactly you can expect from the agent, from the outcome solution, but you're enhancing the agent with multiple tools. Back to you, Filip.
Thank you. So if you're interested to see or explore more Joule skills in details and how to set up Joule Studio, you can check out a session which was just before us by Martin Plummer, because in our session, we'll be just using Joule skills that we pre-built for this demo, so we can focus more on agents. And talking about agent builder in Joule Studio, maybe Maria want to share something from a product perspective.
Yes, sure. So with Agent Builder in Joule Studio, you can achieve already multiple of the ways. And currently also the disclaimer, we are mostly presenting the beta version, the one that we were running the beta, and this will be generally released a little bit later in Q4. So with Agent Builder in Joule Studio, our beta participants, and also we currently in SAP, we can do a lot of things. And it is achievable by bringing seamless integration with SAP Build and SAP Integration Suite projects. By that, you will be able also to get the accurate outcomes and ground your agent in business data and processes. And we are providing from SAP a large selection of LLM models and reasoning models. We are also, and you will see in the demo, we are providing the full visibility into agent executed flows. And also you will be able to read the agent reasoning.
I think it's great for debugging, because when you build the agents, you're not just click it once and everything works. You also have to iterate, and you specify your instructions for the agents, and then through the debugging experience, you can actually see how it behaves, so you can test it and improve it. I would say it's one of the nicest feature you can have.
Specifically, the agent instructions will be important, and we will share a little bit more details on how to create proper agent instructions and then how to debug that. Also, we are providing the same test and manage lifecycle for Joule Skills and Joule agents, similar to all SAP Build projects, meaning that you will be able to treat process automations built within SAP Build process automation same way, or maybe even applications that you build with build code also same way. And of course, as Joule Studio is placed in SAP Build and SAP Build is placed on SAP BTP, we are ensuring the compliant AI interactions with built-in data privacy enforcements.
Let me help you out. We have here several screens, so just to find one, and we're back in the
What could I do without you? And here you can see on the screen that we've identified multiple use case patterns based on our beta learnings. So multiple beta testers, we were building different use cases based on that pattern that you can see. And also you can use these patterns later on when you're planning your agentic use cases. One of the most important problems that our beta participants were trying to solve is to reduce manual and fragmented workflows, meaning that different customers wanted to eliminate that there are a lot of manual repetitive tasks still being done, specifically in finance, procurement, and sales, And here exactly where agent can help and support. The second pattern is to accelerate decision making, meaning that sometimes agent reasoning is needed to get the decision done and taken by the end user. We are also with the agent bridging disconnected systems, meaning that still there are many different platforms, many different systems that our customers, partners use within day-to-day activities. And within the agent, it is possible to integrate these multiple systems in order to, within the agent, you are integrating, and then the agent is providing more better outcomes. We are also streamlining data handling, meaning that customers can sometimes seek in for automation in the specific scenarios when data is involved, meaning extracting data, validating data, and processing data. And the last but not the least use case pattern is improving knowledge access. Multiple companies have a lot of learning resources, have a lot of different documents that their employees can benefit from if they could have better access to that. This access can be also provided via the agent.
Yeah, maybe thanks. Maybe if I can add on, maybe if I can add on top these patterns here, they came out as a cluster out of the beta phase. So it was not us that classified these patterns and trying to put the customers there. It's the other way around. We had customers and tried to identify the common patterns between them and form these clusters. But it's also, I would say, worth mentioning that not every agent fits exactly into one of these patterns. You also have agents that are taking multiple patterns in their case, and actually the agents that we'll be building today is actually ticking multiple boxes, what we hear here on the screen.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Filip.
Should I go to the next slide?
Yes. And I think one of the most important tasks when you're thinking of different agentic work streams, workflows, you need actually to design your use case. And that's why we are here today with a slide in order to show you the core questions to define the agent. I will not go through all these questions, but please make sure that while you're planning your use case, you get these questions answered. We will also go soon to explain you our use case and answering some of the questions already. Let me just read out loud some of these questions so you understand what is this about. So firstly, you need to understand the specific problem that you are trying to solve with the agent. What is broken, what is repetitive, what is still manual, and where the agent can help you solving this issue. And also later, you need to understand what is the concrete outcome the agent can deliver end to end. Maybe it is a creation of the report, creation of the recommendation. So what exactly, how the end user can benefit from the agent. And I think one of the most important questions as well is what decisions or reasoning must the agent take autonomously, and what decisions the agent needs to get to the user. So, I mean, I will not go through the whole slide, but when you're planning your use case, please try to come back to this recording, maybe take a screenshot of these core questions and come back to them when you're actually refining what your agent should do. This is kind of your guidance in the world of AI agents.
Yeah, and also I don't talk to your business users whose problem the agent should solve, and based on that information, try to structure the data in these framework questions, so it's going to be easier later on to translate those requirements into an agent which can execute the job.
Exactly. And let's go to our use case then. So we actually have the business persona for you prepared. And exactly as Filip told, when you have this persona and you're trying to solve the problem for the specific user, talk to this user, understand what is his day-to-day activities look like. And here you can see Alex. Alex is the maintenance planner, and his goal is to make sure that all of the maintenance orders can start on time. And sometimes he checks.
Sorry to interrupt. Maybe for us tech nerds, can you give an example? What is a maintenance order?
So sometimes imagine you have a big factory and some component in this factory stopped working. And you need to create the maintenance order in order to get the specific component fixed. You need to have all the different materials in place to get it fixed, plus also the operation work. So the person who actually comes to the factory and fixes it. And
so basically, when something, you can imagine a production line in a factory, and some machine kind of breaks, whatever reason, the people in the factory create a maintenance order, and then based on that, they go and repair it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
our Alex needs to make sure that everything is ready for the reparation and the maintenance order can be started on time.
Okay, thanks.
And sometimes he needs insights also to quickly confirm when he has a call, he needs to quickly confirm if the specific maintenance order can start, can be executed. Also, he needs to spot some shortages. Sometimes the material is not available and he needs to understand in which warehouse the specific material is still persist and he can maybe order from that warehouse to the factory. And of course, he needs to choose a fast remediation, meaning to buy this specific material, to transfer, expedite, or approve substitute if needed. So he needs to get all this data, all this access to different data very, very fast.
So it's a lot of coordination and a lot of cross-referencing of data from different systems.
Yes, exactly. And also, it is important to understand Alex's pain point because sometimes because he needs to jump across different systems, multiple systems, he needs to check multiple spreadsheets and cross-check the specific order, operation, components for this order, material. It's a lot of time-consuming work, and sometimes he cannot handle that much work because some data is missing, for example, and the error can persist in validations. It leads that sometimes he has late surprises. Some order when there is already the order started, there is a person who needs to fix it, and material is not there. This is how we call the short, kind of late surprises. And he cannot just easily say the specific maintenance order can be executed right away or not. So he struggles to deliver this clear readiness decision. And of course, sometimes there are a lot of multiple compliance materials, compliance documents that are constantly updated, but he needs to stay compliant at his work when he's planning these maintenance operations. And he sometimes is stuck in just grabbing different documents, joining different lessons like live session webinars, but still it's constantly changing and he needs the fast access to that kind of data.
Yeah, it's not easy to remain updated on that information.
Exactly. So let's go to the solution that we are providing to Alex. We are aiming to deliver him the maintenance agent that will share and provide the clear guidance to him with go-no-go decision for the specific maintenance order based on the real-time material availability. And we had different maybe interviews with Alex beforehand to understand how his day-to-day activity looked like and then which problems he is trying to solve. That's why we try to deliver this kind of skills that are already within the system. And then these actions were provided from the system as Joule skills, and then we will add them as tools for the agent. Filip, do you want to add something else here?
Well, yeah, if you remember, I did not plan, but if you give me the word, I can add something on top, of course. So if you remember the Joule skills here, you can see as an example, through APIs, you can access other systems and fetch the data. So it checks this box of fragmented systems. And also, I would say the easy mindset how to think about agents, you can think of them of three parts. The brain, that's the model for thinking, reasoning, instructions, how to think, how to behave, how to use that brain, and tools like actions that agent can execute. Of course, there is a memory there as well. but I would say those three boxes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Memory, brain, and the tools are the three, I would say, three core components of an agent. So should we start building it or?
Yes, please build the agent.
Cool, then let me reshare the screen. Or no, I have it already open. So can you please confirm from the studio if you still see my screen? Yes, thank you for the confirmation. So what are we seeing here? We are now within SAP Build and the Joule Studio in a project where we see here multiple Joule skills that we prepared previously, just to give you a quick overlook of Joule Skills. So remember, it's a predefined set of steps, a workflow, deterministic step, static process. And we can see that this process is pretty basic. It has just three steps. The first one, the trigger. So the Joule, the copilot can invoke it, or the agent. It has the API call to an external CAP application to fetch the maintenance order details data, and that's it. It's done. And in the same manner, we have other skills which are fetching the other points of the other data points. Here, for example, material details, and this could be another system, or maybe it's the same system, I'm not sure in this case. But anyway, this is the action with, or the Joule skill is the action which let me bridge these disconnected systems. So having those skills in place, I would say we can start with an agent, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to add here on create, and of course I can add the new skills if I want, but we're going to creating an agent, and we're going to say a name. How do they say maintenance agent?
Yeah.
And I think I misspelled maintenance. I tried it several times to learn it, how to properly spell it. But some words are difficult for me to remember. So for the description, I'm going to put the demo and also explain why is that not a good idea. Because having a demo is not instructive enough to know when to invoke this agent. So maybe you want to add something on top.
Exactly. So this description actually serves for Joule, because here we are talking about Joule conversational agents to determine in which specific scenario your agent can be invoked. Meaning that this demo description was really not a good idea, because we need to provide very, very detailed understanding so Joule knows when to start this agent. And here, Filip, you added now that the agent needs to check if maintenance order can proceed based on material stock levels. So now this is the good description.
Thank you, thank you. So basically, having a demo is useless, and Joule will not know what to do with the demo. Now, having more description to the Joule can invoke the agent for the job. So now, if we move downwards, we're gonna have the expertise. And expertise are kind of telling the agent its persona and what it can do and what kind of job it should execute. And we see here that this agent can maintain, validates maintenance order, it can recommend actions, and it can check material stock. And then the instruction fields are actually how to proceed. So you're the expert in the expertise, but how you should think, how should you leverage your brain? And I'm gonna copy paste the instructions that we prepared previously.
When you're planning your agent, I'm not sure that even from the first attempt your instructions are correct, because sometimes the agent needs more extensive instructions. In our beta phase, we had some first scenarios when we had just 2 sentences for the agent instructions, and it is always not enough for the agent, because you cannot expect the agent understand and read your mind. You had a good idea yesterday, right?
Exactly. Exactly. When you can imagine when you get your interns on your team, you cannot just give them 2 sentences and expect them to get the job done. You need to explain them, give them instructions and context, how to proceed, whom to contact, what to do. And the same is with the agents, because I consider agents in the same way digital employees. So here I copy pasted the instructions saying how to behave, what are the objectives, so identify material constraints, for example, and what process or kind of what approach to take when trying to solve the problem, how to evaluate the readiness, because that's also one of the tasks of the agents, and how to provide recommendations, and so on and so on. And as Maria said, those instructions, I doubt you will be able to write them in one go. Usually you put the first draft and then you iterate and test until you find instructions which are precise enough and clear enough, because mostly at the beginning you will forget some stuff which are self-explanatory, but then after you start thinking, you write down those self-explanatory things.
And the tip is to use AI sometimes, because AI is very nice in understanding the text. So for these instructions, to be very sincere with you, I use some AI tools in order to create better instructions.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. So use the AI to write instructions for the AI. Then we are coming to another input field called additional context, which, yeah, so as the name says, gives additional context to the agent. So you can specify stuff like how to communicate to keep a professional tone, maybe to be a friendly tone, how to, should the agent double check every recommendation and only give them if it's sure, and so on and so on. And again, I'm gonna be copying our additional context inputs which we provided, and here we are giving an example of that. The agent should have a professional, clear, and supportive tone, should be respectful or action-oriented, should be accountable, and what kind of protocol
Filip,
follows.
I think there is a question in the
Yes.
chat regarding if there is special instructions how to create agent instruction. And we have the slide ready for you, so you will be able to see the slide after this demo, this amazing demo from Filip. And of course, afterwards, as soon as we go with GA, general availability, we will also post these guidelines on, I think, on the SAP resources.
And the question, I don't see who asked it, but if you have other questions, feel free to ask. I think it's more interesting. We have a QA session than just demoing. So
Yeah, there is one more question here. Like, is there any specific syntax to provide the instructions, or it is just plain English, is the question?
Currently, here in these instructions, we used the syntax just also for us to understand to guide us, to guide the instruction creation. For the agent itself, and Filip, correct me if I'm wrong, we can just provide the plain language independently.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, hope this answered your question, Vijendra. Yeah.
Maybe some other questions, or can I proceed?
You could proceed. You could proceed, Filip. Yeah.
So here, what we said, we provided the instructions and you are this week in this way, and here we are kind of giving the brain to the agent, assigning the model. We can choose from different LLM providers, from OpenAI, Mistral, and so on. I'm going to here, for example, choose Claude Sonnet.
Can you pick Claude because of vibe coding, right, Filip?
Maria is taking me. I choose Claude because I'm a techie. And of course, we have here what I didn't show previously, thinking steps. It's giving the instructions of how many iterations the agent should perform. And of course, the more thinking steps the agent includes, the more tokens will be used, which also leads to more consumption of tokens. And it does not necessarily mean the results will be better, because sometimes you can achieve the great results also with a small number of thinking steps, and everything depends on use case. So usually I would recommend start with medium, see how it works. Maybe you can go down to small, and then if really required, you can actually put more steps on top, kind of way to optimize your cost. Of course, then
here is a question, Filip.
Go ahead.
If two agents have the same description or similar description, how the Joule will distinguish between these two agents? Also, do we have the agent catalog?
So firstly, it would be better if you're aware that there are not kind of similar descriptions for different agents, because otherwise there will be conflict in invoking Joule scenarios. And it is always recommended to provide a specific description for the specific agent. Of course, sometimes there is kind of the thing that you didn't know about it, and that's why you need the agent catalog. We are working within the SAP strategy to provide the agent catalog, and you will be aware of multiple agents that your company has already. And sometimes you will be able to disable some of the agents. But this is still, I would say, work in progress, and we are looking into that.
Thank you. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, hope so. Yeah.
Let's add the tools to the agent.
Maybe
Yeah.
see some other questions. I'm happy to add the tool, but also to answer more questions.
Yeah, no more questions as of now. You could continue, Maria and Philip. If any questions comes up, we'll let you know. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Then we have here a section of advanced configuration. It's currently labeled as pre-processing and post-processing, and it's actually increasing the usage of tokens, because you can also instruct your agent to prepare a plan. They come like do more, let's say, do more of thinking, and sometimes that's valuable, sometimes it's not, because for some easy tasks you don't need it, but sometimes you need it as well, I would say. So I would just enable it to see if the agent is going to be performing more results. And then at the end, so we look who you are, what is your agent, how should you behave. This is your brain, how you should think, if you should plan, and how to use your brain. And at the end, we're going to add the tools or the actions which agent is allowed to perform. Here we currently see only 3 items in the dropdown, more are coming. And we're gonna now assign to the agent the Joule skills. If you remember the static processes which we showed previously, so that agent can actually retrieve the data from other systems. And here you can see, I say agent is allowed to fetch the maintenance order details, material details, and so on and so on. Yeah, would you add anything on top?
There is
I would say
a couple
let's
of questions, Maria,
Yeah.
here. So what is the difference between small, medium, or large LLMs in the context of cost pricing?
So this is regarding not the LLM specifically, but regarding the thinking steps. So how much attention the agent should think about this specific matter you are trying to solve. And this is later on is how many tokens the agent needs to take in order to complete the specific task.
So here is next question. Can Joule use standard delivered intelligence scenario?
Can you maybe repeat the question? The audio interrupted. Can Joule do what?
Can Joule use standard delivered intelligence scenario?
I mean, so the standard is, so we need to distinguish that there are multiple scenarios that Joule can handle. Firstly, the one that we are providing a standard from SAP out of the box with some kind of standard Joule skills. Then within SAP strategy, we are also delivering Joule agents out of the box. And this currently we are providing some customization, creating your own custom Joule skills and Joule agents. This will be working in one Joule instance independently of each other. So the Joule will be kind of like orchestrator, whereas these multiple Joule capabilities, Joule skills, Joule agents will live together. The most important part is how you run the formation and to which specific LOB, Joule in LOB, you already have connected your Joule Studio.
One more question here. Is there a way to ingest policy document? I think it's related to document grounding and you will be covering it, or learn from the incident document as input to the agent.
Yes, so this will be covered by our second AI agent that we will be building later on. so we will show it.
Yeah, of course.
So another question, when is the GA of agents? It's said only H2 of 2025. Is there a date?
We're still defining the date. So this is planned for Q4, end of Q4, but we need still some time and you will hear more at TechEd.
Okay, so the next question, will the tool human in the loop, maybe, human in the loop, that is the question, will be available in order to make a Gen AI solution compliant as required to ensure that the action to be taken by the agent is previously approved by a human user. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So we'll be having both those approval permissions, like the user says you're allowed to do that, or if some missing input, if agents tries to retrieve some data, for example, and it misses the order ID. In this example, the agent will ask you, hey, provide the missing input. That's coming.
Okay. Okay. So the next question, so when we give the working instructions and additional context, will this information help the agent to perform more effectively and get trained well?
I would
Is
say
there any
depend.
training there?
I would say there is no training, but I would say if you provide specific enough instructions and kind of have them well written, of course, that will improve the agents. If you just put bunch of instructions which are not clear and ambiguous and kind of ambiguous, then it will not help. It's just like when you're working with people. If you give unclear instructions, people don't know what to do. If you give clear instructions, it's more likely that people will perform.
Yeah. Imagine the agent is your intern and you are trying to explain the intern how to get your job done.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah, so they say thanks, Maria and Philip. And one more question coming up. Where can we see the logs for agent request and response? Can we use these responses to train the agent?
You can take it as the rationalization for you, because this will be some signs, indicators that the agent.
Let us show us.
Yeah, let's.
That's the next step in the demo. Let's show us.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's coming up. Yeah, for the attendees, it's coming up. And yeah, thanks, Maria and Philip, for taking up the questions. Yeah, please
So
continue.
Thank you for the
Thank
questions.
you for the questions, and thank you, Reka, for moderating. We saved the project, and now we can actually test it out to see the agent taking steps. But before we go into that, I wanted to share the new concept that we have, the concept of the private environment. And private environment is your dedicated test environment where you can deploy, kind of pre-deploy your agent before going into full stack deployment.
Why do I need that environment for myself? Why is that valuable?
Because this is currently your environment. There is nothing else deployed in that environment. And this is kind of
a safe space.
Safe space for you and your agent, for you and your intern. And now we are picking some destination variables. This is the third-party application that we used in our example, and this is AI core that we need in the later agent as well.
So if you remember it, you can just add on top, these Joule skills are talking to these third-party systems through APIs, and what our Maria selected here is the PTP destination, which is actually a destination endpoint where to find that system that we need to invoke.
Yes, and I click the test button. So let's wait for our agent to get the pre-deployment steps in my private environment so we can test it out.
So by the time it get deployed, there is one more question. Is there a confidence score for the agent output?
Not really. Currently, we do not support, but we are working in providing more structured agent output formats, and this is coming for the GA.
Okay, there is one more question. How to implement evaluations in the multi-agent or multi-step agent scenario where you need to determine whether an agent has taken the right decision or not, and the outcome needs to be evaluated to avoid issues.
So this will be coming with the human in the loop support. And I mean, as long as the agent, we always need to have the human in the loop in order to get some steps of the agent verified. Currently, within our systems, we will support this kind of new agent tools within adding the new agent as a tool. So also somehow have the loop in there.
Okay,
And
thanks
then
for the answer.
Of course, Reka. And here our Joule digital assistant is being launched. Joule already recognized that we are testing from Filip's laptop, so he recognized that we are Filip, and then we can ask the question that we would like, as being in Alex's shoes, we would like to check if the specific maintenance order, in this example, maintenance order number 1, can be fulfilled based on current material availability. We asked this question to Joule, and now we can see that Joule started to work. It takes some time for the agent to get recognized. So we can see currently that the agent scenario has been recognized, and then this tool decomposition that Filip picked in the beginning was picked. Then this is the planning, so the agent is planning.
And this also is an answer to, I'm not sure who asked the question, but the question was like, where can we see the agent request logs and the responses? And it's exactly this test mode, debugging mode, where you can see that information.
Yes, and now we can see that the agent started using tools, started using its Joule skills. So firstly, the agent gets the maintenance order details, so understand what is connected to the maintenance order number 1. Then the agent gets the specific operations that are connected to that order, so the different operations that will happen with this order. And then in the end, we will get the different components and material IDs. And now within the components, there are different materials that are needed. That's why agents started checking different materials. So firstly, the agent checked material availability of material number 1, and then here material number 2 is being checked.
And basically this flow or how agent executes might change if he has the same question again. It might have another order of the steps it executes, but it should come to a similar solution.
Yes. But I mean, we also try to verify in the instructions how Alex actually did it before and which steps Alex took to verify it. So now he already got for material 1 and material 2 the stock level, and now he's checking the material ID number 3.
So by the time it processes, another 2 questions coming in. So the first one is it possible to add some example prompts so that the user can pick in case of the proposed ones? I think something
Yes.
similar on the lines of templates or something.
Conversation starters, right?
Yes, we could add these examples also in our additional context.
Okay. The second question, that there will be a way to leave the agents executing automatically in the background.
I mean, there will be some ways, but currently, to get more kind of security and privacy, we from SAP support the conversational agents that are run within the conversation. But of course, we do have plan on supporting system-triggered agents when the agents are more autonomous and coming back to the human only when they have kind of asked for approval, for getting more confirmation, approval, or getting more information.
Okay, one more question coming up, Maria. Sorry, you wanted to...
No.
Go ahead. Question first.
So is this material related data stored on the HANA cloud, or it is retrieved via an API response using the CAP service?
In this example, it's an API response. The Joule skill is creating the API call and retrieving the data.
but it can be connected to any other. If you just have the system, you have the API, you could bring any other system as well.
So are you using the HANA database here for the CAP service underneath?
That I don't know, and as a developer or a person who will be developing agent, I should not care. I should care I get the API, the interface, and what is that from where that API is delivering the data. For me, it should be irrelevant.
Okay,
And maybe just
thank
to
you.
come back to the logs question, so we can show a bit more logs.
Yeah, we could see the decomposition and the agent plan based on the request that we asked to the agent. So it's here you can see all the details and the plan that the agent started. And then agent started to think, okay, what the agent will do? I will retrieve the details for the maintenance order 1. And then there is the extended thought. To begin, I need to do this and that. You can always go through these details to get your prompt better. So you sometimes see that the agent, in even the composition in the plan, didn't plan as it should plan, as Alex usually did it. It means that sometimes you need to change the instructions for the agent to think in more details. There are also different details on different API calls. For example, here you can understand that there is the input parameters, and then you can see the output parameters for the specific orders. And here you can see that in the result, in the end, the maintenance order can be fulfilled. But we still didn't understand our next steps. And let's just ask the agent about our next steps.
And I would just say, if you see this happened in a few minutes, and the poor Alex from our persona, he probably would need way more time just to get so far.
Yes, exactly. So to do all this different cross-checking, Alex would need much more time and to take the decision in the end.
Oh, one more question coming up. Can we start the agent via an API, that is API trigger, asking for SAP internal teams and for customers?
This is still coming. This is still in evaluation in which release we will have it, but we have it as a high priority on our radar.
Okay,
And
thank you, Maria.
Of course. And here you can see that for the next steps, the agent also provided the detailed instructions for the next steps that our Alex should take. And maybe let's come back to some slides.
Yeah, sure. Being mindful of a time, you have 13 minutes.
Yes.
Let me reshare the slides and then.
But it's great that we have such a great discussion and
Yes.
so many questions.
Yes, I love it. Way better.
So here you can see on this slide this kind of template for the instructions. And of course, we will be enhancing it on the sap.com documentation and on different materials as long as we go GA. As to just a quick summary, we have main instructions where we provide the introductions, the objectives, and then we can also enhance it by different processes like we had in our scenario when we had step-by-step process, and then the tool description. Sometimes it's also still important for the agent to know when to use which specific tools. And then we have the additional context. And here it is really recommended to bring different communication guidelines and examples. And here we had a question where to put examples. Please put them in additional context. In sense of time, let's go to the next slides quickly. Currently, remember this main pain points of Alex. We could solve 3 of them, but still one is not solved because of the compliance materials that are not available.
I think Alex wants to read the compliance stuff himself, right? He was like, application is done, I want to read new compliance documents. Yeah.
No, he doesn't want to do that. That's why he needs us to actually create a compliance agent that has all the different information on the compliance materials. And so Alex can execute his work in compliant way.
And so, and this refers to the question, I cannot remember the exact words, but like, can you bring our own documents to provide more context? And here what we see on this visualization is that one of the tools is a document grounding tool, which is under the hood using SAP Core to create embeddings out of documents. So it creates vectors out of documents and injects the meaning of those vectors. We get embeddings, and then those embeddings are used to ground the agent for, in this use case, to follow the compliance guidelines of the Alex employers.
In the interest of time, let's build this agent.
Yep.
And could you please open me the building? And also here, we already built all the document grounding tools on AI Core. So we are just consuming that currently because also of the interest of time, we wouldn't have enough time to actually show you the AI Core currently. But we have a lot of documentations on AI Core, how to do document grounding. And thank you so much, Filip. You created we start to create the agent already.
Exactly. So
And
the compliance agent.
Yes, so we are naming this agent for compliance, and then again description for the agent that will assess the compliant documents.
Of course, the agent for compliance is just the name we use as a demo. Most likely, a more precise name and description would be better, like compliant agent that understands compliance documents for maintenance orders, and that would be even a better approach to be more specific.
Exactly. I'm trying just to do everything as fast as possible. So I'm bringing in different instructions for the agent and also the tooling. I think I forgot to add the tooling to the instructions. So here, go to the next, we add tooling. And then we will also add additional context with, as we told before, communication guidelines and protocol. Once it is said, I think here we can pick the same thinking steps, and we can, I think the OpenAI model will be good model for understanding documents currently. So we are proceeding with adding tools for the agent. And here we are adding document as a tool. And then here we need to create the name for the specific tool. So currently we are creating the name that is order validation compliant. I think we need to make it as compliance document, but it's
order compliance
order validation. Compliance order validation documents. And then we need also to provide the description.
And of course, the better description, the better agent understands what it has at disposal and what tools can use.
Yes, exactly. So remember, agent always understand the natural language, and you need to be as specific as possible with any description. We are selecting the destination variable that we created before. And then also here, the most important one, we will also have some videos ready by the JDate, how to add AI core. But here we need to, if you are familiar with AI core, there is different resource groups, and you need to pick the resource group ID. Here, this is just the testing one. And because I have different embeddings, I need the collection ID as well, but this is not required. Sometimes just referring to the resource group is enough. And we add this as tool to the agent. Let's save and the agent. Again, picking my private environment. There are many different private environments because I'm admin here and I can foresee all of them, but you as a developer will only have your own environment. I picked all the destinations. We've already explained you what it is. And then we go to test the agent.
Okay, I thought there was a new question. It's the previous one.
Good.
Good. Good, no questions.
Yes, we have 7 minutes, so we need to still test out the agent and to show how the agent is using document grounding tool.
Actually, there are 4 or 5 questions in the pipeline. In the interest of time, I'm just holding back.
So I asked the question to provide a short summary for our maintenance order, for our maintenance compliance policy, and then we need to agent to highlight do's and don'ts. Then while agent is using the document grounding tool, Reka, let's have the question.
Okay, sure. So it's related to integration with the knowledge graph. the agent has integration with the knowledge graph?
Currently, not in this current landscape, as you could see, because this was also the beta landscape. But based on the beta feedback as well, and also on our strategy, we are bringing as more native SAP to SAP integration as possible to the agent. And this is high priority for us to deliver, right, Filip?
Yep.
Okay.
Maria
So
said
the
the
next
priority and I deliver.
So the next question is how they can experiment with all the knowledge you're providing in this session. Is this feature available on BTP trial?
Currently, no. This is even is a beta scope. So this is currently we are experimenting and sharing our knowledge with you. And later on, you will be able to test it out.
But will it be possible to test Joule Skills?
No, the
Also
Joule
not as well.
Skills are still not there. We are launching the basic trial very, very soon. So currently, you can experiment with Joule Skills, and from Martin's session, you can also get the Joule Skills on your account. You can try it out, and then you can start creating the baseline for the agent. So currently, no possibilities, but we will have TechEd. At TechEd, we will have multiple hands-on sessions on how to create the Joule agents.
TechEd is, when is TechEd? First week of November,
Yes,
right?
exactly. It's in Berlin here. Please come to TechEd and try to experiment with the agent there. Or also later on, wait for the GA date. It will be also quite soon. And then
One more question, Maria, here. I think this question is interesting. So if there is a large department, large user base, how you can manage triggering of agents to prevent a situation where a vast community of users requesting Joule agents to perform multiple tasks at once? Does it lead to any performance issues or increased load on the system?
So firstly, you can actually create the specific agents for the specific user groups, and you can determine which user groups can access the specific agent in production, be same to the Joule Skills.
So this is really, really, I would say, important enterprise feature, because you can imagine you rolling out finance agents doing some finance crunching numbers, and most probably you don't want that everyone in the company has access to that agent, so you can restrict it.
Exactly. And I think on performance, we are trying to make the performance at the best of our possibilities.
Yeah, like next question. In order to add the LLM model here to SAP Build, is there any additional license to subscribe?
No. We will be providing the LLMs out of the box from Joule Studio. These LLMs, of course, are connected to the AI core and follow all the guidance for principles for security and compliance from SAP side, but you do not have to have AI core. But here, for this document grounding, this you would need your own AI core instance. And maybe we kind of transitioning to what was happening on the screen. So the agent has provided us replies to two different questions. One is just to highlight main do's and don'ts. Maybe Alex was back from vacations and maybe something changed and he wants just to check what was there. He could also ask what was changed in the compliance document recently. And we could see that the agent was using the document grounding tool, the only tool that this agent had. And then here we also asked the question about violations to execute kind of different maintenance orders here if the partially confirmed maintenance order can be executed. And here agent also provided us with abbreviations. We love abbreviations always. Something new to learn, PCNF, new abbreviation, but it's okay, it's not a policy violation, so Alex can continue his work. And I tried to be very fast with the agent. Back to the slides, maybe. Very, very fast.
Yeah.
I think, yes, we showed here.
Yeah, so maybe also to reflect on the questions, do we need AI core or extra license for the brain of the agent, for the LLMs? No. But as Maria said, if you want to use document grounding at this moment, you need to bring your own AI core instance and create embeddings there out from your documents, which agent will utilize during the runtime.
And during multiple sessions, we had a lot of questions already, sub-account. Like here on this reference architecture, everything on one sub-account level. But this is not this is golden standard that we have provided. But of course, Joule Studio with SAP Build can be on one sub-account, then Joule can be on another sub-account, on the second one, and then AI Core can be even on different global account, and you can treat AI Core instance via the destinations as any kind of API calls. So this is kind of short overview of our architecture for document grounding. Key takeaways. Philip, do you want to share some of them?
Yeah, I would say a lot of questions. I love it.
Yeah.
And then, like, from what we'll be happy if you take it from today's session is two demos of building and testing enterprise agents for maintenance and compliance. So kind of solving the exciting work of Alex, tedious work. We showed briefly Joule Skills, which are the set of steps, deterministic process, and we also showed how Joule Skills are also interfaced to external data sources through APIs. Maria also presented you, I would say, a nice framework of questions, what to consider when you specify your agent, and I would think recommend to use it when you interview your business users on actually what job has to be done. We, at the end, now also showed how AI Core is used for the document grounding, and you also need at this moment to bring your own. And for me, I would say a really interesting part was the cluster of real-life agent use cases that emerged from our beta phase. I think we are over time. Sorry. So do we have a minute more for the outlook?
Yes, what's coming next? Firstly, the unified testing. As you could see currently, the agent testing is in there. The Joule skills from Mardian and the production systems that you have are still not there with the same testing concept. We are bringing these testing concepts together, and soon you will be able to use it. Then data masking, it is sometimes important for the LLM not to be biased to mask some data. Specifically when you're hiring, you need to maybe hide and mask the gender of the applications for the LLM not to be biased, as we people are biased sometimes as well. We are bringing, and as we were talking to different questions, the new agent tools are coming. So please stay tuned for more. Even very soon with the new GA release, we will have more agent tools. And of course, structured output controls. This was also asked within the session today. We know that this is highly recommended and asked for, so we're trying to prioritize the providing the more structure in the agent output controls. And with that, also many more news to come ahead. Please scan this QR code, sign in for Keynote. If you want to try hands-on sessions, you will be able to do it on-site in Berlin. Please still, I think you have 1 month to go until TED. Book yourself a ticket, come to Berlin, test it out on your own.
And if you're coming to Berlin, say hi to us because we are based in Berlin.
Exactly. Reka, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria and Philip, for providing the clarity and depth about the Joule Studio in the session with the demo. Since Joule Studio is a low-code, no-code tool, it's super intuitive and more professionals, irrespective of their coding knowledge, can now build Joule skills and AI agents with ease. Thank you, everybody, for being with us till the end. I believe you found this session helpful. I would like to swiftly remind you that at the end of the day, we will be releasing a session tutorial to validate your understanding of the session. So it will be having 5 questions based on all the 5 sessions of today and carries 1,200 points. Do complete it, earn points, and advance in the DevToberfest game board. We have 3 more sessions coming up on tooling and front end. Do take part. Wish you an enjoyable time ahead. Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate the questions. Have a nice one. Frozen, are we done? Are we still alive? Maybe.